Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tommy Star here. Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome to my March Blu Ray update. I don't know how, but I went absolutely crazy in the month of March. 137 pickups. It's been a long time since I've had an update this big. Lots and lots of awesome pickups. I cannot wait to share with you guys. We have a lot to go over today. A huge stack of horror with a bunch of Shudder titles. We got some DC Marvel pickups, 3 of them, and I think all 3 are DC. We actually have a little stack of Disney today, some pretty cool stuff. Tons and tons of boutique stuff, a whole bunch of Scream Factory, tons of Kino Lorber, some Arrow, some Vinegar Syndrome, a huge stack of A to Z, lots of awesome steelbooks in this update, and last but not least, a nice little stack of DVDs. So like I said, tons of stuff to go over today. I don't want to make this video too long, so we're going to dive right into it. But before we do so, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet and you guys enjoy Blu-ray updates and collection videos and anything movies, please hit that subscribe button right down below and hit the bell, because if you do that, you guys will always hear first and foremost when a new video gets uploaded. And if you enjoyed this update here today, give it a thumbs up. So we're going to start things out with the DVDs. Now, back in the early 2000s, a little series of movies got released based on real-life serial killers. And I've always wanted to pick them up, but sometimes they can get pretty expensive. I did actually find these, though, pretty cheap. I was pretty happy with the price I paid for them, so it was time to pick them up. Now, there's 4 main movies in this series, I guess you could call it. One of them actually, I think it was last year, actually came to Blu-ray for the first time from MVD, and that is Dahmer. And these have yet to come to Blu-ray, but we got Ed Gein. Finally got these. I'm pretty happy because I definitely enjoy these movies. Ted Bundy, and then Gacy. So yeah, finally picked these up. Like I said, I didn't pay a lot for them. I've seen these go up over like $50. I don't know exactly if they're out of print or not, but either way, I'm just happy to finally have them in the collection. And then the other DVDs I found from a Facebook seller. I've been wanting to pick these up for a while. A couple of my favorite wrestlers. We got some documentaries on them. First one up here is the Roddy Piper story. Roddy Piper, definitely one of my favorite wrestlers. And then we got The Life and Times of Mr. Perfect, both of whom have passed away. Very sad, rest in peace. But yeah, definitely some favorite wrestlers of mine. And I just need to get these for the wrestling collection. Okay, we're going to get into the horror titles now. We got a lot, so we're going to, as usual, start with the Amrays. These 2 here I'm going to show you are a couple of Roninflix exclusive in collaboration with Shout Factory, I guess. First movie is Adrenaline Fear the Rush with Christopher Lambert. Then the other one is Lawnmower Man 2, Job's War. I've never seen any of these movies, didn't even know this Lawnmower Man 2 existed. But these were some exclusive titles that Roninflix put out, so I figured I'd scoop them up. All right, the next 2 titles I'm going to show you here I actually got from SRS Cinema, I believe they're called, an independent company. I got a movie from them in the past, which was called House Shark, but they put out these like funny movies. They're kind of cheesy, goofy horror titles, and a lot of them are like shark related. But the first one here I got is Stephen King's Sharks of the Corn. You gotta love that. And then the other one is Virus Shark. And like I said, the one I got in the past was House Shark. And that one actually came with an exclusive slipcover. I wish these would have too. But yeah, just cheesy, goofy shark films. Next are a couple titles I actually got from Stinky Tuna. They're gone now. Like, you cannot find them. Their website is completely down. I don't know what's going on. I've talked about this before, but they went down and then they came back, and I snagged a couple titles from them before they went away completely. And now I don't know what's up. They don't exist currently. So, but either way, a couple movies I had to get from them. That is The Abyss. Again, never been on Blu-ray before. And then a movie called Freeway with Reese Witherspoon and Kiefer Sutherland. Pretty cool movies. I've always wanted this to come to Blu-ray, and I'm happy that Stinky Tuna put it out. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Stinky Tuna. Who knows? Maybe they'll come back at some point. Okay, so the next three I'm going to show you here, I actually got in the March horror pack. I just recently signed up for the horror pack, and if you guys missed that unboxing video, I'll link it down in the description box. But haven't seen any of these here. The first one up has got Kaylee Cuoco in it from The Big Bang Theory, movie called Killer Movie. Next up here is a movie called Child of Satan. And then the horror pack exclusive, and then there's a movie called After Dark. So really excited. I'm a part of the horror pack now. My April pack should be here probably in the next week and a half. So looking forward to checking out those titles. All right, next up is a title from Full Moon, presented by none other than Charles Band, of course. A movie called Castle Freak. Never seen this before, but a remake was just recently released, and I picked that up, so I figured got to get the original. Okay, next up is a movie that came out in 2000. Now, I remember seeing it in the theater, but I haven't seen it since. I do remember enjoying it. You got Joshua Jackson in it and Paul Walker, a movie called The Skulls. I don't remember a lot about it, but I'm excited to have it now on Blu-ray and give it a second watch. Next up, a movie called Late Fee. This was put out by Media Blasters, a movie that came out in 2009. Now, I guess this was out on Blu-ray before, but now they put out the unrated edition. So definitely looked like some good cheese I wanted to check out. All right, next up is a title I've always wanted to pick up. I hear a lot of people talking about this movie, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. From what I heard, I think this was like a made-for-TV movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I remember somebody saying that. But something looks kind of cool. Figured I'd grab this. Okay, next up here is a movie called Dead Girl. I believe this came out in 2008 from Dark Sky Films. I did see this movie before. It's pretty good. A buddy of mine actually gave me a DVD of it many, many years ago. Never knew this was on Blu-ray, and I somehow just stumbled upon it on Amazon, so I grabbed it. Yeah, I mean, if I had it on DVD and there's a Blu-ray of it, you know, I want to upgrade it. But check this movie out. It was all right. The film that came out in 2019 from Cinedigm, Nightmare Cinema. I heard a lot of good things about this. A lot of people were talking about it. It's a horror anthology film, but it looks pretty cool. So I found this over at FYE for pretty cheap, used. So I figured finally time to get it. Next up here is a movie called Martyrs. This is the 2016 remake. And if I remember right, the original came out in 2008. Now, the original is on Blu-ray, but it's out of print and goes for tons of money online. Hopefully I find that at some point, but I've never seen the remake, and this, wasn't that much on Amazon, so I scooped it up, upgraded it from DVD. Now, like I said, I haven't seen this, but I have seen the original, and I gotta say, the original movie is probably one of the most messed up movies I've ever seen. Not for the faint of heart, so I won't recommend it to everybody, but if you can somehow get a chance to check out the original Martyrs from, like I said, 2008, I believe. Wow, it's insane. Okay, next up here is a movie that I actually ordered in one of my Kino orders, thinking that this was a Kino title, but it's not. It's actually from Scorpion Releasing. A movie called Dogs. Looks like a cheesy creature feature, I guess, if you want to call it. Came out in 1976. So, yeah, we'll check it out. Okay, now we're going to get into my Shudder pickups, and I believe I got, I think about 9 of them here, most of which don't have slipcovers, which it really sucks. Sometimes you get it with Shudder, sometimes you don't. But anyway, really trying to build up the Shudder collection. I got a lot right now, and there's still a good chunk left for me to pick up. But these are the ones that I picked up in March. So we got Metamorphosis, Monsters. Shudder can be hit or miss sometimes, but for the most part, I enjoy them. A movie called Monstrum. And I think some of these two are like foreign films, I believe. Terrified. I've been hearing a lot of good things about this one. I want to pick this up for a really long time. Another one that I heard good things about, Blood Quantum. And then this one is a documentary called Horror Noir. This is based on the history of black horror. So I like Shudder's original series and documentaries as well, so had to pick that one up. And a movie called Boar. So I guess this looks like another possible creature feature of some sort. All right, let's get into the slipcovers now. So we got 2 more Shudder titles to look at here with slips. First one up here is Scare Me. This is a newer one. I believe came out in March. And then this one here is the one that was popping up in Dollar Trees in the month of March and February, I think. A movie called Gwen. I couldn't find this at my Dollar Trees because my Dollar Trees never have anything. But I did find it on eBay for like $5. So, you know, I'm all right with that. But yeah, I think this one is like one of the first Shudder titles to come to Blu Ray, if not the first. But yeah, I don't know anything about this. But I definitely plan on checking out a lot of these Shudder titles over the next couple months because I got a lot, so I got to start watching them. So yeah, that's it for all the Shudders. So continuing on with the horror slipcovers, a new movie called Don't Tell a Soul. This got put out by Lionsgate. I actually watched this movie. You got Rainn Wilson in here, Mina Suvari from the American Pie franchise, and then Jack Dylan Grazer, the kid who played young Eddie in the new It movies. Really enjoyed this film, you guys. Really, really good. I'm glad I watched it. These 2 kids steal this money, and then as they're running away from the house they stole it from, they come across this security guard played by Rainn Wilson, and he starts chasing them, and then he ends up falling down in this hole, and he's stuck down there, and the younger brother, played by Jack Dylan Grazer, wants to help him because he knows he's stuck down there and he can't do anything, but the older brother doesn't want to help because he's afraid they're going to get caught, you know, if they end up getting him out of there. So, and then the end of the movie just takes this wild turn. It was really good. I mean, it's something I wasn't expecting. But I enjoyed it. I definitely will highly recommend this movie. Okay, next up here's another new title that came up from Lionsgate in March, a movie called The Toll. Don't know anything about this, but I actually heard some pretty good things about it. So definitely looking forward to checking out this movie. Next up is a new release from Code Red that came out in 1980, a movie called The Forest. And we did get a slipcover on here, which is pretty cool. So had to pick this up. So next up here is another new title that came out in March called Songbird. Not a bad looking cast there. Get like Demi Moore. But a movie from Michael Bay that I guess is based on like the pandemic that's going on right now. So I guess one of the first movies, I'm sure, of many to come, based on COVID and whatnot. But I guess this is set more in the future, like in the near future, a couple years from now, I think. But I've heard kind of mixed things about this movie, but looking forward to checking it out. Okay, so here's the remake I was telling you guys about of Castle Freak. This got released by RLJE Films. And again, I haven't seen the original, haven't seen this one, but it looks like it could be a good time. So this one came with a slipcover. So an Eli Roth film here called Aftershock. Never really heard of this one, but I really like Eli Roth films, and I think I kind of just stumbled across this on eBay. And I seen that I had a slipcover. I think this might be like a Canadian slipcover, or one of those Canadian French ones. I don't know if our release ever had a slipcover, but like I said, I love Eli Roth films, so figured I'd check it out. Wasn't that much. Next, we got a Christmas horror title here from Raven Banner Releasing, a movie called Deathcember. It's got a really cool slipcover on here. I don't really know anything about this one, but you got to have a nice big variety of Christmas horror films. A lot of them are pretty cheesy, but regardless, wanted to add it to the Christmas horror collection. Next is a movie that got released by RLJE Films. I did get a chance to watch this, just totally off the wall crazy. Psycho Gorman. It's one of those, like, it's so hard to explain. It's like it tries to be like a horror, like a family horror type movie, I guess. Almost like if you want to put it in the category of like Goosebumps or something like that. But it's crazy gory, which is funny. So you kind of get like kind of the best of both worlds between straight up horror gore and horror family. It's really, really goofy. I had fun with it. I'm not going to say it's amazing or anything, but yeah, definitely worth a watch. Next up here is Ma. I've never seen this, been meaning to pick this up for a really long time. I've actually heard that the movie's pretty decent, so found a slipcover copy of it on eBay for like $5, so couldn't say no. So next up here is something I've been after for the longest time, trying to find this on eBay, Mercari, and never can find it, and when it does pop up, it's really expensive. Finally got my hands on this. I probably paid a little bit too much for it, but I've been looking for it for so long. I'm just happy to finally have it. And that is the slipcover edition of the Scream franchise. This was released by Alliance, that Canadian company. And I've always wanted it. It's just so cool looking. I have all the Screams on Blu Ray. You know, I got that like box set that I think Alliance put out. Comes with like the Ghostface mask and everything. And I hate anytime I want to watch a Scream movies, I got to like pull it down, take it out of the package. So now we just got a nice slipcover edition. This is pretty expensive if you guys try to find this on eBay. Craig's had this for the longest time. And like I said, I've always wanted it. Finally got it, so I'm really happy. Okay, so the final title here for horror is a 4K, and that is the 2014 Godzilla. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this movie, but I like all the other movies that came after it, like Skull Island, and then, you know, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, I haven't seen the newest one, Godzilla versus Kong. I've been hearing mixed things about it. More people like it than hate it. I'm excited to check it out, hopefully very soon. But either way, this is the first one in that new universe, and I wasn't a big fan. I thought it was pretty boring, but I'm happy it's on 4K now because all the other ones are on 4K. So just happy to upgrade it. It's a cool franchise. I mean, it's not a horrible movie, but definitely my least favorite Godzilla film. All right, now we're getting into my DC Marvel category. And like I mentioned, actually, they're just all DC. So the first one up is from the Warner Archive Collection, the complete live-action series of Shazam. I didn't even know this existed. Some kind of a TV series from, I don't even know what year. Maybe it looks like the 70s. So, yeah, had to get this for the collection. And then the other two DC pickups, of course, are two different editions of Wonder Woman 1984. This is the standard 4K with the slipcover. And then this is the Target exclusive, which, just like the last one, Birds of Prey, we're not getting those lenticular digibooks anymore. We're just getting these alternate slipcovers, which kind of sucks, but I got to keep getting them. So there's Target's edition. I mean, cool cover and everything, but just wish they wouldn't have stopped those digibooks because they were just so badass. But either way, had to get the different editions like I do of all these films. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to the steelbooks now. And for those out there who might be wondering, I know a lot of people ask me this. Yeah, I do have the discs for these. I take them out when I do these updates so you guys can see any inside artwork. But yeah, I don't just have empty steelbooks. I do have the movies. Now, first one up here, I can't remember. I think this was a Best Buy exclusive. I could be wrong, but either way, the two film collection for Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Awesome looking steelbook. There's the front. There's the back, there's the spine, and I gotta show you this opened up. I love how that kind of goes together. And then there's the inside. Definitely looking forward to the new film. All right, so next up here is the Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook for Wonder Woman 1984. This movie was awesome. I really enjoy the Wonder Woman films and the DC universe. I think they're done very well. But there's the front. I just really dig the artwork on this steelbook. There's the spine, and there's the inside. Another Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook. I believe this was Best Buy, and that is the film Dread. I wasn't a huge fan of this movie, but I really liked this steelbook, so I had to pick it up. There's the front, there's the back, the spine, and there's the inside. Next, we got a Mondo steelbook that was released by Mill Creek. Now, I do have the 4K of this movie that was released by Vinegar Syndrome, but had to pick up this steelbook for the movie Rad. Cool looking steelbook. The spine, and there's the inside. Okay, so the next 5 you're going to see here are actually steelbooks that I found from a seller on Facebook. He had a huge stack of steelbooks that he was selling 5 for $100. Really, really good deals. I got to the post a little late. He had so many that I wanted, but by the time he answered me, a lot of them were gone. But I did get some pretty cool ones. First one up here is the original Night of the Living Dead. Such a cool steelbook. Some of these are region B, as usual, but there's the spine and the inside. Okay, so the second one I got from that guy, this is an Arrow steelbook that I've wanted for a long time. The Driller Killer. This one's cool. Happy to add this to the Arrow steelbook collection. There's the inside. All right, this is the third one I got from that guy. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Beautiful steelbook. It's a matte finish, all in black and white. I love it. This is my favorite Universal monster. There's the spine and the inside. Love this steelbook. A steelbook for The Boy. Didn't even know that this existed, but I love this steelbook. The spine and the inside. And the last one in that 5 for $100 deal is a steelbook. This is a Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook that when it first came out, I didn't get it because I wasn't a big fan of the artwork, but over time, it's definitely grown on me, so I really want to get it, and he had it. So that is Gremlins. There's the front and the back, the spine, and the inside. So a couple more steelbooks here. We got the Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook for the 2014 Godzilla. This one's pretty cool looking. Love the picture of Godzilla on the back there. There's the spine, and then awesome shot on the inside. So next up, this got released by Paramount, Friday the 13th, Part 2. We got the first one last year. Now we got this one. I hope Paramount just keeps going, all the way through 8, which is the ones that they got. There's the back. You're doomed. You're all doomed. Love it. Spine. And the body count continues. Gotta love that. So another Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook, and that is Tom Cruise, War of the Worlds. Again, not a huge fan of this movie, but love the steelbook. The spine and the inside. Okay, and the final steelbook here is the first steelbook, I believe it's the first steelbook we've ever gotten from Kino Lorber, and that is Rawhead Rex. Love the look. It's got like a metallic look to it. There's the back. Now, I held off on this for the longest time, and because it was too much, it was like $40. And I mean, I held off for a really long time, I think, probably, 6 months to a year. And then finally I pulled the plug. I'm like, I gotta get it. It's Kino's like first steelbook. It's cool looking. So I finally bought it, and then I swear it was like just a couple weeks later, and Kino had their sale going on their site, and this was like 15 bucks. I was so mad, but what are you gonna do? And there's the inside. Okay, that's all my steelbooks. Let's move on. All right, now we're going to get into the A to Z stuff. Now, a while back, I stopped doing separate categories for series. I just kind of threw them in whatever category they fit. So we got a series here, and that is the complete series of Fraggle Rock. Loved this show as a kid. So happy to have this beautiful Blu Ray set of it. I've been meaning to get this for a long time. When it first came out, it was like 50, 60 bucks, and then it went down to like 37 or something like that on Amazon, and eventually it went on sale for like $25, and I missed out on the sale and went back up to like 38, and then finally went back down to 25. So I grabbed it. But yeah, I love this show. It's from Jim Henson. Awesome, fun show. Brings back a lot of memories. Comes in this nice big digibook here, so really happy to finally have this. So a couple more Stinky Tuna pickups here. We got The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. This, of course, is the remake of the original Burt Reynolds film. Can't believe that this wasn't on Blu-ray, but Stinky Tuna put that out, which is awesome. And then a really cool Michael Keaton film called Johnny Dangerously. Another movie that couldn't believe wasn't on Blu-ray, and Stinky Tuna put that out for us, so that's awesome. So the next ones I'm going to show you are the Family Guy Star Wars trilogy. Of course, you got Blue Harvest. I don't remember exactly what order these go in. I've never seen them yet, but Blue Harvest, something, 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 Dark Side, and then It's a Trap. My son gave me these. He got really into collecting Blu-rays last year, and then he just kind of stopped, and he was giving away a lot. And I said, if you don't want them anymore, I'll take them. So I've seen bits and pieces of these, but never actually sat down and watched them all. So I'm excited to check these out. I really enjoy Family Guy. I mean, who doesn't? So I picked this up off of Amazon, a movie that Craig's been telling me to watch for a long time. So had to grab it finally. Boogie Nights with Mark Wahlberg. He says it's an awesome movie. I guess Mark Wahlberg is like in the porn industry. Sounds like a cool movie. Cannot wait to check this out. So I'll pick up here from the Warner Archive collection. I got this off of Amazon. Driving Miss Daisy. I'm not like a super huge fan of this movie. I know it won awards and stuff. I believe, yeah, winner of 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture in 1989. Like I said, not a huge fan, but it's definitely something I wanted in the collection. So finally picked this up. Next up is a movie that came to Blu-ray for the first time in March. Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum. She's the Man. I saw this once before. I thought it was kind of funny, so we're going to go ahead and grab it. Next up here is actually a really good movie. I've been meaning to get this for a long time, but it always stayed like $22 to $25 on Amazon, and it finally dropped after a few years. It finally dropped to like 15 bucks, so I snagged it. I believe this came out in 2015 here. Walt Before Mickey. So it's a biopic based on the life of Walt Disney. And Walt Disney is actually played by Thomas Ian Nicholas, believe it or not. I think I saw this on like, back when it first came out, maybe Netflix or something. I can't quite remember. It was on some kind of streaming service. And I saw it one time, really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure how good of a performance we would get out of Thomas Ian Nicholas as Walt Disney, but it worked well. He did a really good job. So I really enjoyed this movie. I also get John Heder in here. Jodie Sweetin. I mean, it's a really good cast. So if you guys haven't seen this, check this out. Another new to Blu-ray title from Paramount, the 1976 edition of The Bad News Bears. This, of course, is the one with Walter Matthau. Really love both these movies, this one and the remake. And I think there's a sequel. I can't remember if the sequel is a sequel to this one or the remake. I've never even seen that one, but this one's really good. And when they first announced this was coming to Blu-ray, they actually announced that the remake was coming too, the one with Billy Bob Thornton, which I enjoy as well. And for some reason, that one never got released. Like, I don't know what happened. It was supposed to on the same day, and then it never did. So hopefully we'll get that down the line, but really enjoy these films. They're fun. All right, and the last A to Z Amray before we get into the slips is a title released here from Mill Creek. A Hulk Hogan film that I've actually never seen. I've seen everything by him except this one. It just always looked so ridiculous to me, but I finally pulled the plug and grabbed it. We'll watch it around Christmas time, but Santa with muscles. The title just tells you right there what kind of movie you're getting yourself into. But I'm sure it's fun, goofy, and stupid, but we'll check it out at Christmas time. Okay, getting into the A to Z slipcovers now. We got a big stack here from Mill Creek I'm going to run through. We got some new ones and some older ones I've been meaning to get. So for the new ones, we got Sigourney Weaver, Gorillas in the Mist, The Adventure of Dion Fossey. I thought I've seen this before. I can't quite remember, but of course we get these cool, VHS retro slipcovers that Mill Creek always does. So there's that one. That's a newer one. First time to Blu-ray on this one, Gold Diggers, The Secret of Bear Mountain with Anna Klumsky and Christina Ricci. I remember enjoying this as a kid. Another first time to Blu-ray, Sylvester Stallone, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. So happy to finally see this on Blu-ray for the Stallone collection. This one's been on Blu-ray before, but we finally got a slipcover now, The Babe with John Goodman. Of course, he plays Babe Ruth. Really, really good movie. And then some older Mill Creek titles that I wanted for the collection. We got Hudson Hawk with Bruce Willis. Surprisingly came with a slipcover. No Mercy with Richard Gere, Kim Basinger. Haven't seen this one before. And then this one didn't come with a slip, but I ended up finding a slip on eBay. But Dana Carvey, Opportunity Knocks, never got this one back when it came out. So love the titles from Mill Creek. Definitely looking forward to whatever they have in store for us in the future. Next up here, a movie I've seen like one time. I thought it was okay, but I found a really good deal on eBay with that Paramount 100 Years slipcover. And Ben Affleck, Morgan Freeman in The Sum of All Fears. Really happy to find the slipcover. Believe it or not, it wasn't that much. So had to grab that. Okay, so next up here is a title I got for Jess. This is an upgrade from DVD. And that is American Graffiti with that cool flap open 100 Years Universal slipcover. I've never seen this, but she really enjoys it, so I found this on eBay. And the last A to Z slipcover before we get into the 4K, and that is a new film that came out called Money Plane. This one actually looks pretty cool. You got a good cast. Adam Copeland, which I believe, you know, Edge from WWE. Denise Richards, Kelsey Grammer, and Thomas Jane. Big fan of Thomas Jane, but this sounds cool. Some kind of a heist movie. So definitely looking forward to checking that out. So getting into the 4K now, we got 3 of them. The first 2 are some Dreamworks titles. I've been trying to get all the Dreamworks on 4K. This one was kind of tough to find with the slipcover, but that is The Croods. Recently came to 4K, but I guess already the slipcover has become rare. So happy to have that. And then also got the original Trolls. This is another one that was really hard to find with the slipcover. So yeah, like I said, just trying to get everything Dreamworks on 4K. Okay, and the last A to Z pickup is the 4K of the brand new Tom Hanks film, News of the World. Had to grab it, whether it was a great movie or a crappy movie. Tom Hanks is my favorite actor, so I gotta have everything. This sounds pretty good. It's set in older times, which is not always my cup of tea, but I've heard really good things about this movie, so I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out. So awesome. All right, you guys, that is all the A to Z, and I think now we're going to get into the boutique stuff, and I think that's it. Okay, so I lied. Before we get to the boutique, we got to run through these Disney. So got a couple pretty cool Disney pickups here. The first one is a old Disney title. When did this come out? I think this is like 50s or 60s or something, you guys. But a movie that was never on Blu Ray. And I found somebody on Facebook that like was making these, I guess, they're kind of like bootlegs, like Stinky Tuna type stuff, where they just, burn the movie onto Blu Ray. But Song of the South, and even got the Disney Blu Ray logo on this. So yeah, it's a classic. I've never seen this before. I guess it's one of those hybrid ones that's half animated, half live action. So I don't even know if Jess knows that I got this, but she's really into these kind of titles, these older titles. So happy to have that for the Disney collection. Okay, next is something I got off of eBay. This is a UK release, and that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit, with a slipcover. Now, what's cool about this is even though I have the regular release, Roger Rabbit with the slipcover, this is the one that actually says Disney on it. I guess in the UK, they release this as a Disney presented title. You actually have that down there, and Disney up at the top. Because it's a Touchstone film. I believe this was Touchstone, and yeah, Touchstone, here we go. But in the US, our release doesn't say Disney on it, so I wanted to get this edition just to put in the Disney collection. There's, you got Disney on the spine, Disney Blu-ray down there, so I thought that was pretty cool, so had to pick that up. Another UK Disney release here that I got off of eBay that actually was shipped from the UK, but it didn't take that long. It got here in like a week and a half. But this particular movie, our US release, never came with a slipcover. So I've been looking for this for a long, long time on eBay, and it finally popped up. So happy to have it. And that is the film The Wild. Like I said, our release never got a slipcover. So all they did was just take the, my Blu-ray disc out of the edition I had and stuck it in here. So I got a slipcover edition. So I saw the movie like once. It was pretty good, but like I said, I just collect everything Disney, so now I finally got a slipcover for this. Okay, the next two here are the final 4K Disney that I needed for the collection. Now I got all the Disney 4Ks that have been released. First up here is Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. This is the 5th one, I believe, and the only one that's on 4K, but I did hear that the rest are coming to 4K, I think this year. So that'll be cool to get all these titles on 4K. And then the other one, the final one that I bought, this was the hardest one to find with the slipcover. It was so much. And I think Craig stumbled across someone on Facebook that was selling it really cheap. That, of course, is Coco. So, yep. So happy to have all Disney on 4K now. And the last Disney pickup here is a brand new Disney Pixar film called Soul. This looks really good. Haven't watched it yet, but I've heard a lot of really good reviews about this movie, so I cannot wait to check this out. Just so cool to see a new Disney Pixar movie. So, all right, you guys, now we'll get into the boutique stuff. So we're going to start the boutique stuff with the 2 Arrow pickups I got. First one here is the standard edition of the Driller Killer. You guys seen the steelbook that I picked up, so since I had that, I wanted to get the regular edition of this movie. This movie just sounds totally crazy and off the wall, but definitely something I've been looking to check out for a long time. And then the other Arrow pickup that I got here is a fairly new one, and that is a movie called The Comic. It's got an awesome slipcover on this. I just love the look of it. Apparently, this is a movie where this guy, he's like a stand-up comedian, and I don't know, he like goes crazy and starts killing people, I think, is what it's about. But yeah, it definitely looks cool, so had to pick this up for the Arrow collection. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the Vinegar Syndrome pickups. I got a nice little stack here. First one up is one I got off of eBay. I was bidding on this one, and I ended up paying a little bit too much for this in the end. I just got a little crazy at the end of the bid there, and I just really wanted it, and then I was really upset how much I paid for it. It wasn't crazy or anything, crazy price or anything, but still way more than I wanted to pay. But a movie called Night Beast. Wanted to pick this up for the Vinegar Syndrome collection for a while, but I'm just happy to have it. So these next 3 are actually pickups that I placed back in February, I think, and I got them at the beginning of March. 2 of them, I think, were February releases, and the other one was a little bit older. That one is The Dark Tower. This might have been December or January. I can't remember, but this one looked cool, so I wanted to grab that. But these 2 here were, I think, February releases. We got Hitcher in the Dark. Can't really show you the back because it's got some breasts on it. And then this one, you guys, I was so happy to see this release. You know, every once in a while, Vinegar Syndrome will release something of a movie I've actually seen before. For the most part, there are a lot of pretty rare titles I haven't seen. I watch the trailer, I read about it, and if they sound good, I'll pick it up. But this one is actually a movie that I actually enjoyed. I think this is a late 90s movie. I can't quite remember, but a movie called The Fear. This was never on Blu Ray before, and I was so happy when I seen Vinegar Syndrome was releasing this. So yeah, that's the Vinegar Syndrome stuff I got in February that showed up in the beginning of March. And then these 3 Vinegar Syndrome are actually March releases, I believe. And I got them at the end of March, surprisingly, because Vinegar Syndrome usually is way behind on getting stuff. And I got these a lot earlier than expected. So we got Rush Week. That one looks pretty cool. Last Gasp. I think this one's got, what's his name in it? Robert Patrick from Terminator 2. And then the last one is Death Promise. This one just looks crazy off the wall. So that's everything for Vinegar Syndrome. Some great new stuff for the collection. My collection is just growing like crazy. I love it. So I actually did order some titles for April that hopefully should get here by the end of the month. Definitely looking forward to those pickups as well. The one and only Shout Factory release I got. So I'm going to start doing Shout Factory in my boutique sections of these updates. I recently took all my Shout Factory stuff and I brought it downstairs and put it with the Scream Factory. You know, they're all one label, so I figured why not bring them downstairs, put them with the Scream Factory, and start doing separate categories. So next update for my April pickups, you guys will see a lot more of these Shout Selects that I got. I recently took advantage of their sale that they were having, but I only got one in this update, so that is Christian Slater, Very Bad Things, Shout Select number 99. So really happy. I'm really starting to build up the Shout Select titles. So yeah, next month, got a ton. So now we're going to take a look at the Scream Factory stuff. First one up here is a new Scream Factory release, a movie called Raw. Been hearing really good things about this. I think it's in a different language, so you got to put subtitles on. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I heard. But either way, this movie just sounds awesome. Cannot wait to check this out. All right, next up is a Scream Factory title that I've wanted for a really long time. I think Craig recently just got this, but a movie called Cherry Falls with the late Brittany Murphy. This definitely sounds pretty cool, so happy to finally have it. All right, and the last Scream Factory Amory before we get into the slipcovers is a movie called Final Exam, another one I've wanted for a long time. This movie came out in 1981. I believe it's some kind of a slasher. Sounds pretty cool, so happy to have that. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at some random Scream Factory pickups here. I went on eBay one day and I was kind of going through searching like Scream Factory slipcovers and just trying to find some cool titles to add to the collection, and I found some pretty good ones here. First up here is a movie called Army of Frankenstein, or Army of Frankensteins, sorry. So this one looks pretty cool. And then a movie called Let's Scare Julie. This one's got a really cool slip on it. So like I said, I usually, like normal, watch trailers and read about it. If they sound good, I'll grab it. And then a movie called Ambition. Some IFC Midnight releases. A movie called Dark Summer. This one sounds cool as well. Happy to just be add more and more Scream Factories to the collection. And then this one I've actually heard a lot about. I heard that this one's pretty freaky. A film that was banned in 2 countries. I believe it's pronounced Pyewacket. But finally got this film. I got to see what it's all about. Everybody talks about this one being just crazy. So a couple more IFC Midnights here, but these are more recent releases. This one, I think this was February or March. I can't remember. But a movie called Sputnik. Another movie I think is in a different language, but it definitely sounds cool. So I had to grab that one. And then this one, a lot of people are talking about this one being really, really creepy. A movie called Rent-A-Pal with Will Wheaton. This guy, like, goes to this website to find a friend or something, and apparently it's like he's like psycho. Will Wheaton plays one of the scariest villains of the year. I think this movie is kind of like found footage. I thought I heard that, but a lot of people are getting up on this, so I had to grab it. And the final Scream Factory pickup is a collector's edition, and that is Event Horizon. It has been so long since we've gotten a collector's edition. I mean, we got the 2 4Ks, I think that was last month or the month before, I can't remember, but those were the 4K, the Scream Factory's first 4Ks, but this was the first like Blu Ray collector edition we've gotten in a really long time. And this was like pushed back for so many months. Like I think this was supposed to come out like last year sometime, and finally we got it in March. So really cool to see that. We do have another collector edition coming out, I think in May. And then just the other day, Scream Factory announced a ton more collector editions coming out. So I'm pretty excited about that. So okay, we're going to go ahead and end with the Kino Lorber. And I have a huge stack to run through with you guys. Now, majority of these I got off of Kino's website for their sale that they're having. They had a huge sale on tons of their titles, so I took advantage of a lot of stuff. Some of these I got off of eBay. I've just been going crazy on Kino lately, just trying to build up that Kino collection. So there are a few of these that I did get off of eBay or Amazon. I can't remember what is what, but either way, we have a huge stack, so we're just going to run through them really fast. Like usual, you guys, all my unboxings from March will be down in the description box, so if you guys want to look at things in more detail. But first and foremost is a Kino title that I've been after for so long. It's a Christmas horror title. Craig's been telling me to get, but it's out of print, so it's pretty spendy. It goes for around 50 to 60. I found this for like 30 bucks on eBay, so really happy to pick this up, and that is To All a Good Night. And this is actually a collab with Scorpion releasing, so it's not straight Kino. You know, it's got the different spine on it, but definitely something I wanted for a long time. And then this one here's another one that I don't know if this is another collab, but it has the non-matching spine. A movie called Savage Weekend. Usually, you know, Kino spines are all matching with just the like white font. But this one's a little bit different. I don't know. So I can't see anybody else in the back that it collabed with. So I have no idea. But I had to pick that one up. So this stack here now, you guys, we're going to run through really fast. As you can see, there's all the matching spines. So a movie called The Rich Man's Wife with Halle Berry. Rutger Hauer film called Wanted Dead or Alive. I really have to get on these movies and start watching them. Haunted Honeymoon with Gene Wilder. Color of Night with Bruce Willis. Green Card with, this has Andy McDowell and then Gerard Depardieu. I can never say that dude's name. One Good Cop with Michael Keaton. I heard that this is a really cool movie. Parasite, another one I've been wanting for a while. That one looks cool. Good, cheesy fun. Play to the Bone. I've had this on Blu-ray, but this is the Kino version, so I wanted to grab that. A lot of these are really cheap during their sale. Winona Ryder, Boys. Also has Skeet Ulrich in it. My Father the Hero, another movie with that guy Gerard Depardieu and a really young Katherine Heigl. Another film I had on Blu-ray but wanted to upgrade to the Kino edition. Dustin Hoffman, Nicole Kidman, Billy Bathgate. Some kind of a mob movie. Sounds pretty good. This one I don't think I got off of the Kino's website. I think this was out of stock, but it sounded awesome, so I had to get it. This has got C.J. Graham in it, who played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. But a movie called Highway to Hell. This looks great. And I wait to check that out. National Lampoon's Class Reunion. A horror spoof movie, kind of a horror comedy, I guess, in a sense. Nightmare Beach, another one I believe was out of stock on Kino's website, and it looked like something I really wanted, so I think I got this off eBay or something. Nightmare Beach. That one looks cool. Trilogy of Terror 2. Never knew that they had a part 2. I actually finally got my hands on the first one. You guys will see that here in a second. And Once Upon a Crime, John Candy, James Belushi, Sybil Shepherd, Sean Young, Richard Lewis. God, just one hell of a cast. So happy to finally have that one. And then Whoopi Goldberg in The Associate. So that's all the standard amrays, and I do have a couple slipcovers here. So the first one I'm going to show you here, I just talked about this, Trilogy of Terror. I finally found this with the slipcover. I think I got this off of eBay. Been wanting this for a long time, so really happy to have that. And then this one, too, I've been trying to get for a while. I think this one and Trilogy of Terror are like older Kino titles. Some of the first ones that come with slips, but Deep Rising. I think this is like some kind of a creature feature. Looks pretty good. So happy to have them, too. So Kino's been releasing a lot of Clint Eastwood films lately with slipcovers. I'm not a huge Clint Eastwood fan, but I guess this is some kind of a slasher with him. I don't know. A movie called Play Misty for Me. Craig was telling me to pick this up. So, yeah, like, I really don't know what to expect from this, but I don't know if Clint Eastwood is, like, the bad guy in it. I really have no idea. But we'll check it out. Came with a cool slip. And the last and final title in this Blu-ray update is a recent release from Kino with a slipcover, a film called Runaway Train. It's got John Voight, Eric Roberts, Rebecca De Mornay. Definitely looks good. I think it came out in 1985. So, yeah, definitely looks pretty cool. So, all right, you guys. Wow, we made it through. Look who decided to finish off the video with me. Say hi. This guy recently just turned 2 a couple weeks ago. Oh, yeah. Terrible 2s have begun. But that'll about wrap it up for this video, you guys. 137 pickups. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've had a big update like this. Tried to run through as fast as I could. Hopefully this video didn't end up being too long, but I do appreciate, you know, those of you who stuck through the whole way. But anyways, you guys, let me know down in the comments below what you guys picked up in the month of March. Did you guys get any of these titles that I got? And if you would, share the video around. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Say bye. Bye-bye.